If you don't want people to know what you're doing, you kill the journalists.
There is increasing demand for the European Union to act against Israel after its latest attack on a Gaza hospital, which killed 20 people.
Action is what has been missing. There's been words for a long time now, but talk is cheap. There's still ongoing reluctance within EU institutions and among EU member states to take actions. So there's an enormously lopsided trading relationship between Israel and the EU. The EU is Israel's biggest trading partner. So obviously that hands the EU enormous leverage, particularly given that it has a trading agreement with Israel that has as Article 2 that Israel needs to respect human rights. And the EU's Foreign Affairs Chief Kaja Kallas has said that Israel is in breach of that.
Surely that's game, set and match.
You would think so. The smallest step towards action seems to be impossible. Germany and Italy blocked the latest attempt, saying they needed more time to consider it. That was an attempt to stop science and research funding going towards Israeli entities. It's gotten to the point where within the EU institutions, among civil servants and diplomats, there's real concern that people who work for the EU are at risk of breaching international law themselves because of being complicit if they continue to deal with Israel and do things with Israel that's actually facilitating an ongoing war, which now the International Court of Justice has said there's a risk, maybe a genocide. So, this is becoming difficult for the EU to keep a lid on. In the coming days, the EU foreign ministers are going to be meeting. And when it becomes difficult for them to sustain is when there is public pressure. These are, after all, politicians. They rely on being voted into office. The level of disgust that there is on the killing of 5 journalists recently by the IDF. The IDF fired with a tank into that hospital and said that it was targeting a camera. At the time, the Reuters journalist Hossam al-Masri was doing his usual live streaming from within that hospital, and he was killed in that first strike. And then there was a subsequent one targeting those people who were helping. So particularly for organisations like Reuters, who I used to work for, it becomes almost impossible to continue to publish what the IDF says. And when they say these things are blunder, if they're doing the same things again and again.
I mean, the idea that they want to literally take the eyes out of journalism so that nobody knows what they're doing.
Well, it makes sense from a strategic point of view, doesn't it? If you don't want people to know what you're doing, you kill the journalists.